They're utilizing the environment so well. Both by using objects to throw, but also objects to jump off and deflect with. It's super fast, but there's so many details. It's animated very similar, in a way, to the Kizumonogatari films, if you think about it. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Like, you would think this is like the big Sakuga moment of the next few episodes, but knowing what Strange Fake's doing, we're getting this every fucking week, aren't we? Close enough. Welcome back, Chainsaw Man. Oh! Yo! He may not be able to reach you with his blaze, but he just pops your ass with a rocket. No big deal. He's sending selfies! Hey, Teach, thanks for all your help. Bro's gonna unironically end up friends with Gilgamesh and send Waver his fucking... a selfie, be like, I befriended the guy you told me not to. Jesus. They're in the puppet. The puppet is the, servant. How many fucking heroes are going to be summoned? So I guess we've reached the point of seeing what the strange is going to be in the Fate Strange Fake anime. We've seen the fake, seemingly. Now let's see what the strange is. Jesus Christ, though. This was nuts. Hansa versus Jester was even cooler than I thought it was going to be. I mean, bro casually busted out the Uzi and the shoddy just like it was nothing after a man ripped his leg like a chainsaw to ride it up a building. The whole thing was absolutely fantastic, but there's so many small moments throughout this entire episode that just makes me feel like, even ignoring the amazing production, this was worth the wait. This feels like just peak cinema, and I want to say I don't believe they can keep this quality up, but I'm sure they will. Now, if you did get this far in the video, make sure you drop a like, show your support, subscribe if you're new around, you ring that bell. Patreon's where you can catch my full live reactions to all this Fate nonsense and more, which has been on an absolute fucking roll. Also does help fund the channel videos just like these. Like, I was pretty confident Bro was gonna be pretty solid, but I wasn't even expecting that Hansa was gonna cook like this. I mean, to have Dead Apostles, to have everything that's been happening, and to just have the name, it's Fate Strange Fake, and I already knew they were going to be overlapping with a lot of rules and things and expectations that you think Fate has to be obeyed by, only for them to say, we're going to do everything in the craziest possible way. I mean, I didn't mention it last week, but I think it's fucking hilarious that they used the Holy Grail as a popcorn bucket. Like, that's the most deeply unserious thing of all time, and that's just amazing. But we have more servants. I don't know how many servants, but another 7 have been summoned? I assume that's the real archer who did the big-ass attack. This... caster? Would this be a caster? I was gonna say assassin, but caster potentially being in one of these dolls, these, like, very disturbing dolls, because it said, "Are thou my master?" I'm going to assume this is a caster, because what ends up happening is Gil seemingly gets shot. Now, do I believe Gil is out of commission or her? No, but I mean, Archer from who knows how far away decided to do the most impressive long shot known to man. And it's going to be very interesting to see what's happening, because the whole thing that was being built up, especially with Waver, is that, you know, America was up to some shenanigans, but the Holy Grail War hadn't started. Now I'm going to assume the Holy Grail War has started. And seemingly my understanding of what's happening is it's going to be a difference of fakes versus reals and how that interacts with each other given an actual Holy Grail War going on, but other people being involved that weren't supposed to be the ones who kickstarted it. It's kind of a mindfuck, and I really like that. Though I will say my favorite thing about this entire episode is what Flat ended up doing. So... we haven't really touched upon this in a hot minute unless you've recently watched Whispers of Dawn, which was episode 0. But we remember Bro ended up stealing an item and ended up as Berserker's master. And he finally gave an update to Waver. Now, he's kind of having some Fate Zero flashbacks. And this is where, like, people would be like, see, you have to watch a bajillion things. You can't just start Fate at any which way. Listen, anyone who has basic media literacy could watch this and say, oh, man has experience with Gilgamesh and he had some sort of flashback. That must be serious. But of course, the more you know, the more enjoyable it is. But Bro knows what it's like to go up against Gilgamesh, and he knows what it is to lose your servant to Gilgamesh, right? But it's going to be hilarious when what probably ends up happening is this man's student's going to send him a selfie with Gilgamesh. And most likely, given how this is probably the most cheerful Gilgamesh since, like, I don't even know, like, unless I'm misremembering, like Carnival Phantasm, whatever it was called. Like, this is a very cheerful version. Bro's gonna be sitting there drinking with Gil, and he's gonna send an unironic picture of being like, hey man, this servant I warned you about, turns out he's a really nice guy. Bro's gonna end up with the complete opposite experience that Waver went through in Fate Zero. And rather than losing his servant, Gil's gonna probably fucking die for him. Like, they're gonna make the most funny, strange interaction with Gilgamesh known to man, and I'm completely here for it. Or he'll just suffer the same experience that Waver went through. Either way, I'm kind of here for it. But I mean, just look at this. Like, watching these two fight, and I think my favorite part of the fight wasn't just that, oh my god, look at the Sakuga, the flames look great, the movements, I swear to god, they're rotoscoping at points. The thing that was so great was how this man used everything. He was picking up cars. He was whipping things into building. He can grab things and make it feel like he's lifting a goddamn feather. And the fact that they utilized that destruction, because even if it was light for him, whipping that across every which direction, it's just so fucking cool. And just the fact that it continuously escalates. And honestly, had the reach been a little longer than it was, I'm honestly wondering if we would have said Rip Bozo. Because what ends up happening is he basically leaves, right? Because it doesn't work, he says, all right, fine, I'll just shoot you instead. And does blast him. Unfortunately, he's a jester, right? So, like, this wasn't going to be enough. And he basically pretends to be a kid. And because Bro's a nice dude, you know, he's like, okay, I'm glad you're okay. So probably what ends up happening here is he went into the building, immediately killed these guys, and then just pretended to be a kid. Like, that's my assumption of what happened. That's a pretty nasty way to get out of jail. And then you even have, like, some really interesting military situations where Bro, who loses his hands, like, I still want to fight, and rather than just saying you're now on, you know, medical leave, if you can get good fighting with one hand or you get good with fighting with a prosthetic hand, I'll let you come back to the battlefield. But I can't just bring you on right now because you'll put other people in danger. So if you prove yourself, you can keep fighting. I respect your hustle. All those little things go a hell of a long way. The big thing is I honestly don't think this ending song is probably that far off from what's actually happening. I think one half of the Grail War is going to be the most insane nonsense that we never thought possible, especially with fucking Gilgamesh, and then the other half is going to be the most serious Grail War known to man, and the way they're going to clash is going to be borderline parody, I'm convinced. I'm absolutely loving Fate Strange Fake. I said it when Whispers of Dawn and episode 1 dropped. I was like, this has potential to be one of, if not the best Fate stories. And so far, I feel like they're living up to my expectations. Of course, the more you watch, the more you know about Fate, the deeper your understanding and appreciation will be. But yeah, I've seen nothing here so far that I feel like anyone who at least pays attention and can read between the lines would struggle to not be able to enjoy this as their first experience. I really feel that way. And I think, unfortunately, Fate fans take it a little too seriously, and in doing so, prevent people from jumping aboard, because honestly, what ends up happening for every Fate fan is wherever you jump aboard, you like it so much, you go back and you watch everything. And that's great. That's all you need to do. Let me know your thoughts, though, down below. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, Patreon, full live reactions and exclusives. Like, hey, I love to give video shouts to my patrons because they make these videos possible. So today we got Divine Tank 00, Chris, Umpmeister, and we also have Kieran Dean. So I appreciate the support. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.